I'm starting my 11th year, I believe.
And how long have you been chairman?
I've been all together since I've been on council. I'll be starting my 7th term, if I'm not mistaken.
And do you remember when it's been so long now, do you remember what prompted you to run?
I had a group of people come to me, business people, people from me to come and ask me to run, and it was, I thought about it and prayed about it up until back then. We signed up on Sunday afternoon, I believe, it was the sign-up date, and I waited till that Sunday. Well, that's when he first opened up, and I waited till the very last minute to make the decision. Because if I was going to do it, I said I want to sign up first, you know, so it was give it some serious prayer and thought, you know, I have to do it.
I know this covers a lot of years, so it's not an easy answer, but has it been what you expected, or have you been surprised by being on council, what it's like?
I have been surprised in a lot of ways, and you know, I don't think nothing when I first got on council could prepared you for what we went through and some of the things done, and but it has gotten, if you naturally get on things, get more accustomed to things, gets a little bit more, you know what you're doing a little bit more and everything, but it's like I tell everybody, people ask me all the time about that, and I tell them, I got good days and bad days.
And remind people what area your district covers, if they don't know.
I got really the west side of Anderson. I got out toward 24 to the double bridges, to the Lake Hartwell surrounded back. Then we go out into Center Rock community, down around the Williford community, down that way. Then we go back around the Centerville community, then go back up, cross over the interstate just a little bit on Clemson Highway, back on Frontage Road, and got it sort of jumps around a little bit. Then I go out Centerville Road over White City Park Bridge, across the lake there. Got a little section there before it gets to the interstate.
And what are some of the big challenges facing your district, just your district?
Well, I don't think it's just my district. I think the biggest thing in the council, one of the biggest things in the council always is infrastructure, and mainly roads. I think that's just the thing we've got to do. You know, we have you just ride around and look now, a lot of these state roads, secondary roads, especially here in the city, we've had so much rain. Asphalt's really deteriorating. Luckily, at this point, we ain't had a lot of freezing weather, which is coming next week. Then you're going to really see asphalt potholes come in and everything, and have some things. So I think that's the biggest challenge, to try to get some funding. And we've been increasing it for the last few years. C Fund always really helped. State's helped on some stuff. But that's going to be a big challenge.
And the infrastructure you're talking about, like out in your area, particularly sewer and stormwater, and those things are a big deal for development.
It is, and we're getting, you know, the sewer thing that we've got coming up is going to help our area out on 24, and it's also going to help the whole area out in there. I'm a firm believer what's good for one area is good for all of Anderson County, and so this sewer plan that we're putting together and got into work is going to be real good for us.
And I know, you know, they had the referendum, so we don't have the hospitality tax. What are we going to do about recreation?
Well, I hope we're going to have to get creative and think outside the box. We're real fortunate, and you got to keep in mind too, you know, we really hadn't even had a recreation department but the last 9 years. Mr. Burns, when he first come on, saw a need for it and got it, and it's really a 2-person department. Well, it's a 3-person department now, I guess you'd say, but so Matt Shell and Sharon and their team really does a lot for what little bit we got, and they get PARD grants and grants from the states and anything that's looking at through it. But we've got to be innovative and talking about, well, you know, just like on some of our rivers, like Sluda River, you know, maybe get some sponsorship, get people involved in this thing, and we've got a lot of I think avenues we can do. You know, I think like Lake Hartwell and the rivers and all, that's just the crown jewel of Anderson County. You know, I think they went underdeveloped and underutilized for so many years, and I think now we're starting to get it. Just as this weekend, as you doing this interview for me, we've got a big tournament at Green Pond with the high school things, and just what the high school fishing clubs have done in a short period of time, how they've grown and everything is really great to see, and hope getting out. And I think it's with Green Pond and Lake Hartwell's only going to get bigger and bigger. I mean, you can ask, you can see what it does. You know, average person might not sit past boats now, but them boats, they're buying gas here, they're buying a soft drink, they're buying something to eat, they're stopping in restaurants. A lot of them is staying in our hotels. I mean, talk to the hotel people own hotels, how to book and all to get. So, you know, we've on a lot of this stuff, we're getting a late start, but we're coming on strong. It's not just our economic development stuff. I mean, our recreation and our civic center even is bringing in people and doing stuff and everything.
And you mentioned that Matt and Sharon, there's like 36 parks they got to look, and then
Yep.
the farmers market. And I wanted to ask you about that because you were instrumental in changing some of the things that have helped make the farmers market
Yep.
much more successful this past year.
Yes, and I think Mr. Burns and Shaver and Matt's got some ideas coming up this upcoming year. I think it's even going to make it even better. I think the farmers market can really coexist and work great with the city down here. If we all work together, it can make downtown even a better event. People want to come in and do and everything. You know, I'm really excited about what can happen between that thing now. And I think the city and the county is finally getting some visions together about wanting to do something.
Well, the council's working on a budget now.
Yep.
What are some of the challenges in this upcoming budget y'all got to work
Well,
on?
as I said earlier, roads is, we need to find some more dollars for roads and get a plan, whatever that may be. I think another thing would be, the biggest thing is, last year we implemented and started a pay scale, call it raises or whatnot, but we done phase one last year, and we promised the employees would implement the second part this coming year. So we want to stick to our word, take care of our employees. We've got some very nice, good employees in Adams County, so we want to make sure we get that funded.
And the new insurance, how does that seem to be working out?
Well, I hadn't talked to Rita yet about, I don't know if it's too early yet about that's Miss Davis, our finance director, about the numbers yet. But as far as the employees I'm hearing from really do like it. I think it's the way the thing to do. I think it's, regardless if we do it to save $1 or a penny, it's going to be better for our employees. I think we get better health care. I think what you're going to see is, and what I've already heard a little bit about, is you've got some employees that may not have, they had insurance. Our county employees got insurance, but they might not have went to the doctor. They might not have had a doctor. Now they feel like they've got a doctor, take care of them, and they're going. I've heard on a couple of instances, some employees have went and, they found they was diabetic. Found out this right here. And it might have been a little bit later on before they found this out before. So I'm really excited about it. I'm very excited about the team. I'm excited about the whole approach we've done on that. And I think over a period of time, it's going to pay off and save money. If nothing else, maybe not this first year, the state every year just keeps going up and up and up on the insurance, for no rhyme or reason. Rather, and we got no control over it. Whether it's, 5%, 6%, 4%. But the biggest thing is we don't know until right there. We have to pass a budget by July 1st. So the end of June, by no later end, we got to have a budget passed. Well, it's up to the last minute sometime before we know what the state's going to do to us. And so now, the unknown can be the killer sometime. And so now we won't have to worry about that, and that's going to be a big help.
And you mentioned economic development. How do you feel about where we are in terms of economic development right now?
I feel good. I think we're on the upswing. I still think got a little down here the other week with the announcement from Plaskami. But I feel good. What we got in the rising, and I guess the thing with Plaskami sort of reiterated my mind. We can't never stop. We got to keep digging, keep going. But with and I don't want to slight school districts 1 and 2, their career center, what they have done, what they continue to do. The leadership over there is just phenomenal, does a great job, and I'm very looking forward to 3, 4, and 5's Career Center. I think it's going to be a game changer. I don't think there's nothing like it in the state. I think we're going to be the envy. And our collaboration, their collaboration with Tri-County Tech is just going to be phenomenal, and with industries. I mean, everybody, it's great to go to Clemson University or Annis University or whatever, but everybody's not meant to go there. They don't need to go there. You can go to the Career Center, go into tech, get out, not be in debt, and have a good paying job. Why are you going to school? And that's just great for people. I think it's great. And that keeps our young people or whatever ain't got to leave Anderson County if they don't want to go get a job.
Well, you touched on, we're not terribly far away from the next budget year.
That's right.
What are some of the other big things, just looking ahead, that we may be looking at in the next budget year in the county?
Well, we've got always about our capital. It's an ongoing thing. It's not just we've got a computer system that's over I think it's over 20 years. I mean, it's 20, 25 years old. We can't even, if we want to hire somebody in our IT department, they can't even don't even know what this thing's about. Getting so. But we've got money, and that's in the process of being taken care of. It's been a slow process, but we want to make sure we get it right. So that's the thing coming up. But just our buildings maintenance. We got some buildings we need to get rid of. Don't need, and we got some we got to take care of. You know, we just spent $1 million across the road over at the new courthouse. We got, you know, roofs is something to do there all the time. We've got this building upkeep, and hopefully, I think it'll be for the better in the future. The old TTI building on 28 bypass. Us getting that for partnership with Tri-County Tech and Economic Development, training, used for training and an incubator. But on us, hopefully we can move our shop and maintenance department out there. We've got equipment now that can't even go inside and be worked on. And this day and time, you know, you say what you want to, but it's not very good. It's hard to attract good, talented mechanics that's got to work in those kind of conditions. So that's going to be a thing. And I think council and the administrator and the staff is looking at moving some other things out there. So that's going to be a challenge. And it may cost a little bit to start with, but in the long run, I think it's going to save us, got room, and that didn't help us to do something. Some of these other buildings we got, not have to upkeep them, and maybe we can do something. You know, we have to rent a couple of buildings, and maybe we can do something in the future. Plans about getting out of having to rent other buildings.
What about the courthouse square land? Are you excited about getting moving on that?
I am. I really, you know, we took a little slowdown. First developer, you know, didn't work out. The guy that's got it now, the company that's got it now, I'm really excited about them. He has a passion for Anderson, want to do some stuff in Anderson. He's already got one project, you know, up over across from us, the Groucho's building, the sub. And I think he's very passionate, very knowledgeable, and looking, doing some things. So I think we can get something. You know, we want to make sure we get it right, because I hope whatever goes over there is going to be here another, you know, 100 years, and I think it's going to change setting of downtown. I think that'll be a square, and it needs to be something else. You know, you want to have a vibrant downtown. You know, I've talked to many consultants on economic development, works companies, whatnot. You know, the first thing I'm gonna do is, whether it's way out on the interstate somewhere, they're gonna come downtown, ride down, see what's going on. And what people got to realize too is to get a good company, when they come here, they're workers. And they bring it in the management from out of town, they got to have, their families got to have something to do. The wives, the kids, and whatnot, and they look at stuff like this. They're not going to go nowhere where their family's going to be unhappy.
And finally, a couple more questions. One, what would you say about citizen involvement? Why should people think more about coming to council meetings and getting a little more involved in what the county's doing?
Well, they need to, you know, that's one reason I was wanting this TV station. I know a lot of people still don't, and it's still a thing in progress. You know, but this with most people is one way, and I'm not up on all this technology like it should be, but you know, either TV or streaming, computer, some way, people will be able to watch a council meeting. You know, if they in Powdersville or whatnot, they ain't got to leave. They can at least know what's going on. The information's out there, trying to get people. But it's not just. I think it's anything in government now, whether state, federal, whatnot. People don't get involved till it's too late. But people need to find out what's going on, and you know, we put stuff online as far as registry, as far as expenditures and everything, because we want to be very transparent and open. We try to be in government, but most of the time it don't. Something happens in their community or their certain area they live in before they want to get involved or something. But people need to be involved, know what's going on. We try to have I know most council members try to have at least one or two, at least a minimum of a couple of community meetings in their district a year, and come out but even that, sometimes we don't get 2 or 3 people, but you know, at least we try, you know, get out there, and that's to give people the opportunity to come. But I think sometime too is the thing is people happy. Majority of what's going on, they don't have really a lot of gripes. I think that's a lot of it. I mean, when I first run for county council and got on, you know, a lot of different issues and all that, but there's a lot of people come to council meetings. There ain't so many people come now. It ain't because people's happy. Most people's content with what's going on. They, you know, in my business and just in my way of life, and when I've been around as far as knowing people, I see a lot of cross sections of people in a day's time, especially a week's time, and running a lot of people and get comments and stuff. And people, you know, it's like when the first quality come here, people's excited about that. R-Trex, people still talking about it. Green Pond out there, you know, some people try to put negativity on it, but the people that knows is very excited about it. You talk to some of these high school parents, that's involved in this fishing, what it's done, how to get them excited and everything. And so there's a lot of good things happening in Anderson, and also I think, some people like it or not, you can go online and see what's been spent. Now, you might not like it, but you can go online, you can see whatever dollar being spent. Every vote has been taken out council on the floor. They are, and I think, in my opinion, I think people's got more confidence in their county government now than what it was when I first come on council. I know it might be for me to say, but I think that's true when we're talking to people and everything. Now, is everybody happy with everything we do? No. But I think the majority of people are content, and I think in majority of people, when something comes up, whether it's a pothole or drainage ditch or something, council and staff very quickly responds to it, or try to any way we can. There's some things, unfortunately, we can't do, because it's on private property or whatnot. But majority, we try to do things, and Anderson's growing, and we got some issues, with zoning and not zoning up in the Wren and Powdersville area. And Mr. Davis is a fresh pair of eyes on that, and is looking and got some ideas, and but I think it's good, all good in general.
And this last question is, and this is not election year, so this is not political, but if somebody's watching this and somewhere down the road they think, I might want to participate in that, what would you say to somebody that's thinking about maybe running for council somewhere down the road?
Well, I would say you ought to get involved. One thing that's good is try to get on a committee or something. And when I say a committee or board, there's a bunch of them in the county. Sometimes I think too many, and to sort of learn about procedures, come to council meetings definitely, see what's going on. And like I said, you can get on the web and look at different things and see, and get involved, sort of know. Before I run for county council and I probably had to come to about 2 council meetings. Know a lot was going on, kept up some stuff and different things. So, but nothing can never fully prepare you. One thing I always laugh about, though, I say, I was still in the fire service, so 30 years in the Anderson County Volunteer Fire Service. That's sort of trained me for this government thing sometime, I think.
Putting out fires.
Putting out fires in more ways than one.
And except people not quite as appreciative sometimes.
That's right.